I've just published my first poetry book. I'm a published author. I'm so pleased. Hi, so my name's Amanda and I'm a mixed media artist. I combine medias, so I may use fabric, clay, different types of, say, oil, pastels and paint, or collage and print. And I do a lot of art journaling. I'm also an online teacher. I have my own course platform where I have a variety of different courses on learning about mixed media, looking at the things around us and how we can incorporate that into our art, looking at how we can use recycled materials, natural dyes and things like that, slow stitching. So I do a lot of different things and I combine them all together, and I'm also passionate about how the arts can impact on our health and well-being, and how as artists, you know, it's something that we have to do on a daily basis. My book is called Sometimes I Write Poetry, and I gave it that title because it's the truth. Sometimes I do write poetry, and I've been writing over the past 20 odd years. I've never done anything with them. They were in a file. I'd managed to type them up, but that's where they stayed, and I would just from time to time say to myself, oh, I really want to produce a poetry book, but I never thought anything of it. I didn't take myself seriously and just thought, well, you know, other people are poets, you're not, or other people are writers, because I also like writing a story. Yeah, so I just kind of sat on it, and it wasn't until I was working myself up to do it, and it wasn't until my mother passed early this year. She passed in July, and it was just like, so what are you waiting for? You know, there's nothing holding you back, so why won't you put it out there? So I did. I just spent like a week just focusing on getting it together, and here's the finished product. So the book is split up into 8 sections, and I'll read the sections. So it's love, decisions, thoughts, calling, memories, loneliness, loss and death, and community and soul. And so there's over 100 poems here. So I split it up into those sections based on the topic, and it was, you know, I write if something inspires me, if I'm encouraged by something, if something's troubling me. In the early years, a lot of my poetry was about, you know, relationships and things like that, and a lot of it is about relationships and thoughts and how we reflect on things, how life affects us basically, and the relationships that we have, how do we manage them and maintain them. And sometimes, you know, you're going down a particular path, and then years later when you reflect on that, you realise that actually if you'd have just made a few different decisions, you'd be on a different path. And hindsight is a wonderful thing, but yeah, it was, if I wanted to write, I wrote, and I just wrote it in a book, and then I typed them up and they stayed on my computer. And it was just, you know, as the process has become easier, it was just like, okay, time is now, you know, there's no time to wait any longer. So I never, as I said, I never really saw myself as a writer as such. I write, I blog, I create content around the work that I do, but I think that's probably why I sat on the poems for so long, because I didn't see myself in the same vein as, you know, you see spoken word artists and poets, and, you know, they're reading their work, and, you know, they may have some music in the background. It's just, you know, mine is about just, this is a woman, a girl, a woman, an older woman who has gone through the passage of time and charts her experiences or her insights of things. And as I said, the process is becoming a lot easier to produce your own book. I would have, yeah, it would have been lovely to have had, you know, an agent, or not an agent, but, you know, this advance. But I'm happy just having this in my hand and knowing that every single poem in there that, you know, was sitting on typed on a piece of paper and, you know, just aging over time, is now, you know, other people can share in this celebration. And there may be some poems that touch you, that, you know, help the reader to gain insight over certain things, or remind them or encourage them. And that's really my hope, that I will encourage somebody else through them reading my poems. And, you know, they might say to themselves, my gosh, you know, I can do that. I can, you know, write, or I will write, or I will publish my book. I will, you know, start painting, be creative. And it's important for us to write. So for me, it's like, it's important on a daily basis. Sometimes I do miss a day, but it's important to get down your thoughts, to get the thoughts out, and to see what they can possibly become. As our thoughts become things, has the creator created, so we too are creators. And, you know, when I first did my first course, it was just a thought, until I actually started working on it. My poems were just a thought, the book was just a thought, and then I've moved it on until now I've got the physical thing in my hand. The self-publishing experience initially it's very different when I first looked at publishing a book, and it's changed over the years. It's got easier, and so it's an easy process. There's templates available for you to use. It's got the template, you just copy and paste your stuff in, and, you know, that's it. The Kindle format is easy as well, and yeah, it was fairly easy. So I would encourage anybody, if you've got, you know, an idea or a book that you've been mulling over in your head, to just get out there and do it. It's really an easy process. So what's next with my writing? So sometimes I write poetry, sometimes I write children's books, sometimes I do so many things that involve publishing a book. Now I've got a few short stories that I want to publish. I've got a couple of children's books that I want to publish. I've already written them, they just need typing out. And I've got just things talking about experiences with Alzheimer's. My mother was living with Alzheimer's, and I looked after her for quite a while. An experience with working with people with living with dementia, and the art projects that I did, and I want to kind of combine the two. There are a few ideas that I'm going to be working on next. It's just like, the world is your oyster now. You know, what can you make with what you've got? We've got access to, you know, so many resources that are available to us, and I'm just looking forward to be able to share some of the things that you know, what ideas before and now, all the ideas that I want to just bring out into the world. And some are not like, you know, I'm I'm still a mixed media artist, and as I say, sometimes I write poetry, sometimes I write children's books, but at the very heart is creativity. And it is just, some of it is just, do you know what, I'm just pleased that I've managed to get it to this point. You know, the fact that it's now a book, it's out there, you know, people can buy it, people might not want to buy it, it doesn't matter, but I've achieved, this is one of the things I wanted to achieve, and I've managed to do that, and so I'm really proud of myself. And you know, I know that my mum would be proud of me, my father who passed in '92 and my brother who passed in 2013. They would all be proud of me for getting it to this stage, and you know, I celebrate me. I celebrate the discipline that I had to have to do it, and it's just opened up another door. You know, you've done this, now what? You know, now there's another door full of possibilities that I can go into. So the encouragement that I would give to somebody else who may be, you know, thinking about publishing their own book, just go ahead and do it. You know, if we've all got something to share, we've all got something to pass on and to encourage somebody else to do. So why not you? You know, it doesn't matter if nobody in your family is creative or nobody has ever been a writer. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you put your mind to it, that you make a decision that it is what you want to do, and don't just, you know, say, oh, I wish. Never has there been a time where we have so many resources available to us. You have access to social media for free, and so why not? Yeah, I look forward to, if you do buy the book or buy it on Kindle, I look forward to seeing what you think. Leave me a review, leave your comments, and yeah, I look forward to being your cheerleader. I look forward to the many other books that I've got that want to be birthed now. Now this one, now they've seen me do this one, it's just like, it's our turn now, you know, you've got to work on us. So in between what I do as a mixed media artist, as a creative, I'm finding time, I'm making room, and make room is one of my words for the year. Make room, limitless, that's been an ongoing word. Limitless, make room, change your frequency, change your mindset and your perspective, because sometimes we look at things and we think, no, I could never do that, but the reality is you can, and you just need to take the first step. So, you know, I'm going to cheer you on and hope that you start getting the things that you say you want to do done, and you know, just break it down. You know, the same thing, break it down into small chunks and take one bite at a time, and before you know it, it's done.